listeners, and welcome to episode 180 of the Nigerian Football Weekly podcast. Me host Olu Okay. Today I've got yet another bumper episode of the Hot Take series, which we've been running immediately after Nigeria games. First of all, I want to say big thank you to everybody for engaging with this format and giving me your opinions and your comments. I really appreciate it, and I love the community we're building. I'm really looking forward to getting into the hot takes. Yes, today is Monday, November 17th, so I hope the disappointment of yesterday has at least gotten out of your systems a little bit, and we can look forward to better days and, of course, club football returning. Also, I want to say big thank you to everybody for allowing us to cross 9,000 subscribers. I do not take it for granted. It's a big achievement for me, and I'm really looking forward to getting to 10,000 subscribers, and of course looking forward to the AFCON because we have no choice. So, as you know, yesterday Nigeria unfortunately lost on penalties to the DR Congo by 4-3 on pens after drawing 1-1 after extra time to officially be knocked out of the Intercontinental Federation playoff, with Congo now booking the ticket for Africa. So congratulations to Congo. We have to see on the day the better team. If you have not checked it out, please make sure you check out my review of the Nigeria versus Congo game. I thought it was easy to get disappointment out as soon as possible rather than stew on it. So anyway, for today's episode, we're going to go through a few of your hot takes. I'll also do our usual regular programming of let you know who our players will be playing in their club sides as club football returns this weekend. Thankfully, the match was on Sunday, so let's just pray that this week can go as fast as possible so we can go back to watching our club sides. Obviously, as an Arsenal fan, things are slightly better for me right now compared to, let's say, if you're a Liverpool fan or Man United fan. So without any further ado, of course, let's get into the hot take. It might sound like misplaced optimism, but I think this is what gets the NFF to truly look into our football, along with the underperformance of our underage teams. Good results are not sustainable under a bad system. Thank you so much for this hot take. It's an interesting one. How do I say this? Since the 90s, we've been hearing the same stories of mismanagement and misgovernance of the national team by the NFF and the body that is supposed to help and benefit our football across all levels and grassroots. We've seen this same thing, and because FIFA does not allow government interference, it seems like the NFF body are able to use this independence to just run with impunity and do whatever they like. So I'll be lying to you if I told you that I'm confident that this can lead to a change, to be honest. Now, the one form of hope I'm clinging to is that now we're in social media age where people are beginning to realize how much power we have as fans, and ultimately these people are there to serve us. If Nigeria is not making World Cups, the NFF gets worse. They don't make enough money. Even the money to embezzle will reduce, So for the first time ever, the fact that we've missed 2 World Cups and the fact that you can see the fantastic work of Simo BK and a lot of social media influencers in putting pressure on the NFF to come and account for the way they run their affairs and to tell us things. Maybe it may lead to something. Even today, I saw respected journalist Osasu mention information around this NFF owing money. And Chief Dr. Sanusi, I think is the General Secretary of the National Sports Commission, replied him and said this is not true on Twitter, but then did not now provide any evidence of what we can see. So you can tell that things are getting to this Azame in the glass house. They're beginning to feel the pressure because whether they like it or not making the World Cup is the biggest indictment on the Sports Federation and the NFF. If there's one thing Nigerians care about is football and the World Cup and AFCON too, but World Cup even more. And we like eye service. Now all of a sudden we cannot go to USA again. I can't even imagine the amount of lost opportunities and even lost money both for the federation and for the team. The awareness of an American World Cup and Super Eagles not being there. It is such a disgrace of the highest proportions we can't even explain. So I hate to say I'm not confident it will change much, because when have we seen things change? But at the same time, I've never seen this kind of pressure on the NFF where they know that they are the primary reason why the whole country is failing and crying. What have they done for us? Why have we not progressed at all? Both from the performances of the men's team, even the women's team. Look at their Olympics display. Because the NFF fails to even organize friendly games for them. Talk less of paying the women their bonuses. Talk less of having good facilities. Talk less of having good hotels. Talk less of having our own Mohammed IV complex like the Moroccans have. Just the basics that you need to do to enable. What are the things that the NFF is doing to enable the players at all levels? Under 17 World Cup is going on. Look how many African teams made the knockout stages. Nigeria is not there. So I'm hoping that you're right, that somehow this could be the shock that changed the system. But am I really and truly hopeful? I don't know, to be honest with you, because in a competent organization, as yesterday happened, the FA president will be resigning. When England lost, did not qualify for 2008, the FA chairman had to resign. Correct me if I'm wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure people resign from their jobs. It's only in Nigeria that failure will happen and there's no consequence. Osnego is the technical director of the NFF or the Super Eagles. He's been the technical director for maybe 10 years. Win, lose, draw, or fail, nothing happens to his job. They'll come and tell him to do caretaker work when he can. What is he doing? What is he doing technically? What is his brief? Why is KPIs being judged on? Who is evaluating these people? And we don't see it. So I don't know, man, but I'm hoping, because if there's one thing that Nigerians don't like is embarrassment, and this is very embarrassing. When you watch Nigeria, I haven't seen us look so shackled by an opponent in a long time since the AFCON final. And to now make it worse, it was by DR Congo. With all due respect to DR Congo, we're a better team than them on paper. The same NFF had our players having to negotiate for bonus, so they missed a whole day of training. And you have to say the physicality told. After we had to play 120 minutes the first time, they come and now play another 120 minutes. The players look like they were running on empty. Their tanks were empty. So as a man, well done. Maybe the embarrassment will lead to change. But I cannot stand there and tell you that I'm sure it will happen. For once, I always wonder why Nigerian politicians and Olis don't think about the fact that if they do the right thing and they make our football great, they may even have more opportunity to steal more money, because people will praise them. People will happily give them money. Sponsors will happily flock to you because they can see due process and they can see the standards that you're putting across all elements of your football. Both the way you run your media, the way you train the teams, what you do at grassroots level, how you treat your underage teams, how you run your leagues, how you run your academies. Structure. But unfortunately, we thought football could be the one outlier like music that is not a reflection of Nigerian society, but that's not the case. In a society of impunity where we reward bad behavior, we're always going to get the same rewards. How can the players have been fighting over their money that they are owed while they had to play World Cup qualifiers? These are things European counterparts don't even have to think about once. Then they are the marketing Nigeria. Now, all of a sudden, look at how the bad PR Nigeria has gotten. We now say we want to go and get players both at home and abroad. Will they look outside? Because all they see is disorganization and disillusionment. The Super Eagles cannot even make a World Cup. So what are we good for? For the first time in our history, we have missed back-to-back World Cups. Back-to-back World Cups. This thing comes every 4 years. The next World Cup is literally 8 months away. Or 7 months away. And we are missing it. If you now add another 48 months, because it's 4 years, that means look at all our star players. Make sure you watch the video I did on our potential squad in 2030. We're lucky we still have talent. But let me tell you, heads have to roll. Things need to be fixed. We've provided solutions so that they'll say we're not just lamenting. Go and watch my video about lamenting about the NFF. So we should go and look at what we can do to generate revenue for the NFF and to start running this body as a professional, competent body. There must be a vision. There must be a strategy. Fail to prepare, you prepare to fail. It's very simple. And the NFF do not prepare in any way. Left to me, right now we should be starting Project 2030. What are we going to do over the next 5 years? We have AFCON 2025, 2026, 2027, 2028, 2029, 2030. Over the next 6 years, what can we do as a nation to ensure that this embarrassment never happens again in our history? To make sure that we have a sustained level of talent pool that can represent the national team in the way that we believe we should be. You do not become a tier 1 nation by not delivering. And one thing I love about football is based on meritocracy. You must show your workings. So Nigeria, now you have not gone to World Cup. No matter how you slice the bread, your standing in world football has dropped. You cannot call yourself giant of Africa again. Unless you go and win AFCON. Even if you win AFCON, it's a nice tonic or remedy for a bit, but it will still stink not being at the World Cup and testing yourselves against the best. It's all well and good or I'm not giving interviews saying Nigeria can make semi-final World Cup. But how do we know if we cannot even get there? I encourage everybody to watch those videos I've done on what the 2030 squad could look like. Also, watch the one I released after the boycotts, providing solutions for what the NFF could do to generate revenue. And by God's grace, this is more prayer. The same way we're praying during the live watch along rather than believing. This is more prayer that hopefully our administrators can sort things out one day in Jesus' name. The courage to do these hot takes, man. Honestly, my brother, like, to be honest, like I was saying yesterday, I don't feel as bad as I thought I would. Like, I was obviously devastated because who doesn't want to go to the World Cup? Even from a selfish perspective, I can't lie. Nigeria being at the World Cup will be beneficial for this channel. You know, it's a niche channel. We're trying to just promote Nigerian football. Not being at the World Cup is a shocker. Now we have to try and cover maybe other African teams or see what we can do. I did not sign up to do this channel or to raise profile of Nigerian football just to be there during the good times, you know. We must be there during the bad times. We have seen enough shege as Nigerians. I've recorded episodes after we drew against Central African Republic, after we lost to Rwanda, after we lost to Benin. Like, Nigeria showed us enough shege, guys, so it's okay. We must always still rise again. But ultimately, we love our country and we love the national team. And me personally, I'm even glad that in just over 5 weeks, Nigeria will be playing Tanzania in the first match of our own AFCON. So we must still look forward. 2006, we did not qualify for the World Cup, but we went to AFCON and came third, which is not still good enough for our level. Last AFCON, we came second. So I'm sorry, the only thing that can help is to come and try and win. And then see how we can develop our national teams and our underage groups to build a real solid team that believe in each other, trust each other, and really believe and have a style of play that they can harness for the next 5 years. Look at Norway, the way they thrashed Italy 4-1 yesterday. Norway were the butt of jokes for a long time. Even the first few years of the Odegaard and the Haaland era, where they were still trying to qualify for Euros, people used to mock them. That how can you have Odegaard, Haaland, all these things, you cannot play well. But guess what? They were building. And all of a sudden, they've reached a crescendo where now Norway are unstoppable. They won 8 out of 8 World Cup qualifiers. Their goal difference was like plus 30. They beat Italy 4-1 and 3-0. They beat the nonsense out of everybody. Even when Odegaard is not playing. Even when Haaland is not playing, there's now a structure. Antonio Nusa, Solo, Strand Larsen. Now all of a sudden, go and look at the strikers Norway have. You could argue they have the best collection of strikers in the whole of football right now. Because Haaland alone, Solot and Strand Larsen alone can go up with almost any, in fact, anybody's. Haaland is number 1 anyway. But guess what? They built and they looked at a vision. Now they're going to their first World Cups in 1998. The first World Cup book I ever looked at was 1998 World Cup. I saw Norway's name there. This is their first time going back there since then. So it tells you that when you prepare and you look at things, things can still come for you. 28 years later, they will finally go to the World Cup again. So Nigeria, look, we have to come here and still talk whether it's good or whether it's bad, and we must go again because Super Eagles deserve our support. It is not the NFF that will allow people to become very indifferent to the national team again. That's why I started this podcast. We need to bring back the love for the Super Eagles. We cannot just like them when things are going well. This is a national identity carrier for all of us. We must always have courage. So shout out to you guys. Osimhen sold out. I don't agree. I don't want to entertain such comments. Osimhen got injured. He had a hamstring injury, literally confirmed at halftime. Nobody has put his blood, sweat, and tears down for Nigeria more than Osimhen to go to this World Cup. If Osimhen was fit throughout all our qualifying games, we will not be in this predicament. But here we are. So I don't want to hear anything about Osimhen. If you want to play with the big boys, these are the games you must win. If you can't, you are not ready. I agree 1,000%, to be honest with you. At the end of the day, if you want to be giants of Africa and respected or revered in the way that you think you deserve to be, it is based on workings. Even these giants of Africa that Nigeria is being called, it is based on our history of showing workings. Throughout the 90s, making World Cups, winning AFCONs, going to the finals. Even because we missed 1996 and 1998 is why we potentially did not go back-to-back for AFCON. Look at our AFCON record. We've only gone to 4 AFCONs without finishing first, second, or third out of 20. So 16 out of 20 AFCONs, we've come first, second, or third. That's what gave us this giant of Africa name, because we are always there to medal. But if you miss 2 World Cups all of a sudden and you cannot beat a DR Congo, or you need extra time to beat Gabon, or you cannot qualify out of a group that has South Africa, Benin, Lesotho, Rwanda, and Zimbabwe, I'm sorry, you only have yourselves to blame. FIFA gave us a second chance. We had every opportunity to try and make this World Cup, but ultimately we did not deliver. And when you look at our performances against teams like South Africa, both at AFCON and in our qualifiers, or Congo today, or even Gabon, you have to say that Nigeria have now reached the point where we are not guaranteed to beat any team regardless of their stature. even if it's the Rwandas of the world, the Benins of the world. It seems like the days of us beating teams routinely, as we should expect, I think of the past, which is a shame. The one caveat I'll say is I know Nigeria comes together when they have the chance to prepare for a tournament. So there's a world where at least coming to play in AFCON, we can decide what the style of play is long term for Eric Shell. We can see the team come together and at least try to make amends and bring about some good joy for the national team. So let's see anyway. But it is what it is. But I agree with you that based on the performance yesterday for such an important game, and to be thoroughly outplayed like that apart from the first 30 minutes, and also not take your chances, it is not good enough. Heartbreak emoji, but it is what it is. We will do better next time. We look forward to the Nations Cup. Chin up. I say Ghana admit they mock us. God help them if they don't win the World Cup. Oh. Well said, and I like your positivity, Coyote. I'm of the same way. Chin up as well. We go again. You know, club football is coming. Find all the things that also give you joy. But thankfully, because of football, football is year-round. If you don't have a club side, go and find a club side you love as passionately. Me, I'm very excited to watch my Gunners, and they'll bring me joy. AFCON is around the corner. We go again. Ghana, as you said, I hope you win the World Cup. But to be honest, I don't even blame Ghana. They should banter us, although it's a shame they did not make AFCON. I even have a Ghana jersey I bought when I went to Accra, so we'll support them in the World Cup and wish them well. So let's go. But Ghana, make sure you win the World Cup. Oh. At least us, the AFCON we're going to, we know we can win it. Eric Shell would have qualified us directly to the World Cup through the group stage if he had been appointed earlier. This is the Federation's fault. You know me, I always think it's the Federation's fault. And there's a world where if Eric Shell got to play the first 4 qualifiers too, where we drew 3 and lost 1, even if he had just turned those 3 points to a total of 7 points, an extra 4 points, an extra 4 points in the group would have qualified us for the World Cup. So I totally hear you and I agree. Let's hope that he'll be given the tools he needs to prosecute a good AFCON and we can judge him after AFCON based on where Nigeria end up. I see people blaming NFF for this loss. If you ask me, this is all on the players and staff. If you can't beat a team like Congo, you got outplayed by the likes of Congo. What would then happen when we face teams like Senegal, Egypt, Morocco, Ivory Coast and all? Thanks for your comment, but once again, I think this is the biggest problem in Nigeria. We always like to blame the victims. Things will not go well in Nigeria. They'll tell you Nigerian people are not good, but the leaders are awful and the ones causing them pain. Even look at when you grow up in Nigeria and see the way people speak certain English, speak English well versus those who don't. And you can trace it directly to the schools we all go to. Meanwhile, in the first world, everybody goes to the same schools and speaks well. But they will blame the people that didn't have the opportunity, as if it's their fault for being in that predicament. Here again, I cannot allow someone blame the players. Everybody has responsibility, but they were not put in the right position to prosecute these games. If you're missing training and having to boycott to get your owed due, do you not think that the problem you're having with the NFF is part of the reason why you're in this predicament? Do you think that the NFF gave them the right stadiums and the right facilities to play and train with and not have to make emergency landing in Angola? Do you think we'll be in this predicament? If they were given everything that they needed, we would not even be having to play this playoff, so I cannot agree. We got outplayed by Combo partly because of physicality. Our players had to play 120 minutes the other day. Do you think them not training helped? But we're not blaming the players because we know that if they decide to train, the NFL will still be owing them the money. So please do not do that. And we also know that this Nigeria team, they step up in the big occasion, so let AFCON come. Remember even AFCON when Okoye made that mistake. We beat Egypt in group stage without Osimhen. So stop doubting this team. Our record against Senegal, Egypt, Morocco, Ivory Coast, a lot of these teams is very good. You know, I think that's why I even think it's a bit more to lose to DR Congo because we really shouldn't be losing to DR Congo. But DR Congo, maybe this is an inflection point in them as a national team. Maybe this is the point that they finally arrive. Let's see what they can do in AFCON. If they can make the semi-final again, all of a sudden you have to say back-to-back semi-finals shows you their current pedigree. But you have to say that on the right day, especially when Nigeria played the first 30 minutes, if we had our physicality correct and had the right style of play and didn't lose our heads, we should have still been beating them. So support the team. I do not believe we should blame the players. Thanks for your comments, but do not blame the victims. Blame the people that put them in this position and predicament. Supporting the Nigerian national team means learning heartbreak, sha. Look, it's football. You win some, you lose some. I'm an Arsenal fan. When I was born, I first watched Arsenal in the year 2000 when I was 7 years old. The first 5-6 years of my Arsenal supporting life was amazing. We used to win Premier Leagues. We went to the Champions League final. But mind you, even in that period, I experienced my first heartbreak. The first migraine of my life, I had it when I was 10 years old in 2003 when Arsenal lost to Leeds United at Highbury 3-2 to give away the title to Man United in the penultimate game of the season. So heartbreak is a normal thing as a football fan. You will have the good, you will have the bad. Look, this same Congo team, they have not won an AFCON since, is it the 60s or the early 70s? They've not been to a World Cup since 1974. That means every Congolese person 50 and under has never seen their country win anything or go to a World Cup. Do not forget how good we've had it as Nigerians compared to others. At least I've watched Nigeria win AFCON in my lifetime in 2013. This Morocco that we are praising, they've not won any trophy since 1976. So one AFCON. And that one AFCON, it was even, I think, group stage. So guys, let's be careful. Even though we are sad or we are lamenting, we've still had it better in a lot of other countries. Even Ghana that have gone to World Cup and made knockout round, they have not won an AFCON in over 40 years. A lot of these people that are trying to banter you and laugh at you, they've not seen their country win anything. Unless it's the Senegals and the Ivory Coast, the recent winners, Algeria. But even those ones, we know how we've done in World Cups compared to the others. Nigeria is still the only African nation that has made the knockout stage 3 times in a World Cup. Somebody correct me if Cameroon have made it more than twice. I know Ghana have made it twice, but that's it. So, put some perspective about where we stand compared to a lot of these other teams. They've seen a lot more heartbreak than us. Apart from maybe Cameroon still won AFCON in 2017. Cameroon, we know they made the World Cup quarterfinals. We know they have their 7 AFCONs. But Cameroon, the last few AFCONs, look how we're always beating them out. Don't you think they are pained? Cameroon, they did not qualify from a group with Cape Verde. At least our South Africa, we can see South Africa better past Cape Verde. So I hear you about this heartbreak and it's painful. But do not forget, a lot of these teams clowning you. Things are not better for them like that too. They will go to World Cup. Yes, they'll watch 3 games. We'll enjoy the occasion. But it's not as if they're going to win. We hope one of our teams can make the semi-final and final again. But look, still stand strong as a Nigerian. Your country has still done a lot of good things. We've won Olympic gold medal. Only Cameroon can say they've done it too as males. So please, don't worry. AFCON, look, it's only Nigeria that we don't have World Cup ticket, but we're going to AFCON. And whether anybody likes it or not, we know we're one of the favorites to win the tournament. Anybody that underrates us as your peril. So we go again and we look forward to it. So, like I said, Senegal qualified for their first World Cup 2002. They didn't make an announcement until 2018. Back-to-back World Cups now. And they won AFCON, yes, for the first time in their history in 2022. First time in their history, February 2022. You know, Ivory Coast not make a World Cup 2006. This is literally going to be Ivory Coast's 3rd World Cup ever. They've never made the group stage. Yes, they won AFCON over us, no problem. Who again? Ghana. I already spoke to you about Ghana. Ghana have not won anything in 40 years. Who again is our level? Cameroon. I just spoke about Cameroon. They're not going to World Cup too. Algeria have one World Cup in their history. This World Cup, one AFCON in their history. Mahrez, when they beat us in the semi-final. Algeria this is going to be their first World Cup in 12 years since they made the knockout rounds and lost after extra time to Germany in 2014. Morocco, yes, they're going to back-to-back World Cups, but qualification has never been easy for Morocco to go to World Cups. So, like I said, they've not won any trophy. It will be 50 years since they won their one and only AFCON. Tunisia qualified for World Cups, always get out in the group stage. They've only won one AFCON, 2004. Do you get what I'm saying? Egypt, this is going to be Egypt's, I think, 2nd ever World Cup, maybe, in their history. Yes, they have all the AFCONs, but even them, their World Cup pedigree is not up to us. So I see all these things to say, look, every African country go collect. Your time go collect. Your time go come to collect heartbreak. But also, joy is always coming and is never far around the corner. So keep the faith. We have AFCON in 5 weeks and let's see how it goes. And thank you for that comment. But trust me, do not be deceived. All our enemies on the continent, they are crying out now. Everybody's time to cry is always there. Yes, they will go to World Cup. But best believe all these teams going to World Cup, whichever one of them does not win AFCON will still cry. So everybody will still cry. Is it too late for Osimhen to switch nationality? He doesn't deserve to waste his prime years on such an inept and deplorable organization like the NFF. I understand the sentiment, and I think if there's one player or maybe him and Benjamin Frederick, because I thought Frederick was excellent. If there's two players that I really feel so sad about them missing out on the World Cup, it's these two players, man. But by God's grace, 2030 is coming. In fact, we'll be back to this same Morocco for redemption by God's grace. Osimhen will be 31 years old, I believe. So it's not as if he will be that old that he will not be able to play. And looking at the way he takes care of his body, yes, it's a bit sad that Osimhen is a bit brittle when you think about how often he gets injured, you know. But by 2030, this is a player born in 1998. So 2028, he will turn 30. So yeah, he'll be 31 and a half by the next World Cup. So by God's grace, the way strikers even take care of themselves these days, he should still be very, very well in his prime to prosecute a fantastic one and only World Cup. You never know. If he even has longevity of the Lewandowskis of the world, the Suarez's of the world, you know, the Hurricanes of the world, the Cavani's of the world, he may even still be able to play in a 2034 World Cup in Saudi Arabia. So look, this is a generational player. I'm very sad for him, but his time will come again for sure. Did anyone notice similarities between this match and the 2024 AFCON final? Same problem. The midfield has only been the issue. I agree. This match felt exactly... It felt like deja vu, man. We scored first. The only difference is that Ivory Coast scored the winning goal in normal 90 minutes and Congo took us penalties. But in terms of looking at your team and feeling shackled and not understanding what's going on, I understand that feeling so well. Osimhen did not have any chances. Even after he came off, we looked so lost of ideas. The whole second half was like one-way traffic, similar to how the AFCON was. But even the AFCON final, I remember Yana Troy even had one or two shots towards the end of the match. This match against Congo, physically, our players were finished, flatlined, and honestly, it was so sad. So I think it's an opportunity for Eric Shell to really refresh his ideas because he'll be given the chance to prosecute AFCON for sure, in my opinion. And let's see what he can do. So, very sad, but we go again. Aaron Igbinovia, 6899. Thanks so much for always joining the live stream and for all the support, Aaron. He said, may God punish all the Azamen who ruined the NFF. All of this is on them. People are going to blame the players and Eric Shell, but I know they gave it their all. Well said and spot on. I already spent so much of this episode lamenting about the NFF and the Azamen. So, once again, I agree. Blame them. Nigerians, support your players and your coach. They are not the ones to blame. Yes, you can criticize them on certain aspects of their play here or there, but the blame starts at the top, and the NFF must collect their dues for messing things up this badly. Isaac Adisa 8914, thanks always for commenting as well. He said the coach starting lineup is a gamble. Why would you start only Osimhen as the 9 when you've always been starting him and Akko Adams? Mr. Iwobi loses the ball in the midfield. He can't even give a run back for it. He always does that. I don't know why Rafael Idika is doing on the bench. Ekong should at least be among the penalty takers. Nigeria not going to the World Cup back to back. Omo, it sucks, man. I agree with you on it's sucking, man. One thing I will say though is remember the Lookman cutback that Chukwueze and Ndidi got in each other's way. The truth of the matter is if that cutback was executed perfectly, it would have been 2-0 and game over, and nobody would be blaming Eric Shell for his tactics. So football is still about fleeting moments, but yes, we have to judge based on the game state. But I think the moment that chance was fluffed to make it 2-0, the game was over, you know. So I don't want to blame him because you have to also admit that Congo, the way they performed and their physicality, I'm not sure two strikers would have been smart because they would have overrun our midfield even earlier than they did. So it's an interesting one. I understand the frustration on Iwobi losing the ball, but you have to say that the Congolese did a good job of covering the spaces as well. But of course, the misplaced pass was what led to that goal. And indeed, I don't know what Ndidi was doing for that opportunity that they conceded. I agree with you. I don't know what Eric Shell has against Edika to not even be giving him 5 minutes here or there. He really needs to explain that one for us. And also, Eric Shell, why are you talking about voodoo, man? Don't come and be saying those ones. We don't do those excuses in Nigeria. You lost. Please, don't be doing that one, I beg. Rubbish. And I agree on Eric Shell. How on earth did Ekong not be one of the penalty takers? Especially if he brought on Awaziem for the final minutes of the game and kept Frederick. I initially thought Awaziem would come on to replace Frederick, but that was not the case. So I have a lot of comments on that one from the coach. And of course, not going to back-to-back World Cups is a disgrace and it really sucks. But it is what it is. A new set of Super Eagles should be formed, which will include long players like Benjamin Frederick and David Moses. I agree. I do think that for the sake of AFCON, we need to focus on the rest of... We should still allow some of the old heads play at AFCON. So, like, even watch out for a video I'm going to do soon predicting the AFCON squad. Probably early December, maybe in the next 2 weeks, based on what we've seen. But I still think there's still some opportunity for renewal here or there. I don't think we'll change too much of the squad ahead of AFCON, but I think post AFCON, with all due respect, the likes of Kong, Moses Simon, they should retire from the national team. Left to me, even this AFCON, I will not call Ajayi, to be honest true. I would rather they call up Igor Ugbo or give an opportunity to Chibike Noiro of Wolfsberger in Austria or Emmanuel Uchena and Slavia Prague. Start building. If Benjamin Frederick can be playing in Belgium and can play this well, it shows that we need new blood. Let's start giving young players the experience they deserve. Okoye needs to come in as starting goalkeeper. He's still young. He's starting in Syria. It's time for him to be given a fresh plate because nobody's given enough chance and we're not happy. Left back, Sanusi for now. But between Oyemachi and Agu, when Agu comes back in, can Agu make a claim to be the starting left back and can he give us something different? I think our biggest problem is still right back. Because once Olaino is not fit, you realize that we have a severe lack of quality. Osai Samuel cannot be who will take us to the promised land. Charedeboe plays in Serie B, so you cannot trust him. It looks like this might be the one time where Alimu said they should go and beg Michael Kayode. Talk to him because we need a starting right back. Even for AFCON, it's looking precarious. I do not want Frederick playing right back. Let Frederick play centre back. Build our centre backs going forward. It looks like Olaino may not make it for full fitness ahead of AFCON because the injury was quite long term. And it looks like he's supposed to be coming back by end of the year, which when AFCON starts. So I don't know if it will be a bit too soon. But let me know, like, we're missing Olaino badly, man. Badly, badly, badly. It might be time to go and talk to Ryan Alebiosu at Blackburn. Even though I don't like these championship players. Or Daniel Oyegoke. There's a British-born Nigerian, Daniel Oyegoke, playing for Verona in the same team as Gift Orban. Like, I don't know whether Eric Shell and NFF, they said they monitor 80 players per day. I don't know what you're waiting for. This boy is 22 years old. He turns 23 in January. The only problem is that he's injured right now. But the moment he's back, can you go and speak to him and his handlers? What can be done? You know, or even recall a boy. We need somebody else apart from Osai Samuel for AFCON. So I do agree, and we need a new long-term right back that can start for us. So fingers crossed that we can get it done soon. Centre backs as well, like I already said, Basia and Frederick starting going forward. But Ekong and Ajayi need to be phased out. There's a world where you keep Ekong for this final AFCON, but in my opinion, even that, we're keeping him for leadership, not gameplay. Because if Eric Shell cannot trust him at the expense of Awaziem, then that tells me that there's a world where, and I will not necessarily be mad at it. Just thank Ekong for his work. Pronounce Osimhen the new captain of the Super Eagles because he really should be our captain. Let him be the captain like Kane and Mbappe. There are a lot of countries, you make your talisman the captain. There's time Neymar was even Brazil captain. Just make Osimhen the captain and let's go. Know that Basi and Frederick will start at AFCON and you're going to then go and try Igor Ugbo or Emmanuel Uchena as the backups to give them experience. I won't even mind it because we need to build for the future now. Akinso Miro needs coming to the team. David Moses, potential opportunity. Anthony Dennis, potential opportunity. I'll still keep in Didi Oyeka and Oyedika for AFCON. Oyedika is still young enough. I don't know why the manager does not trust him. I think a big player we're missing is Fisao Delebashiru. Let me tell you, Delebashiru, if he plays some of these games, I'm sure he would have made it more of a contribution than Simon, Lukman, and Chukwueze combined. I'm telling you. So, and then even on the wing, can we try Anotele, for example? Nathan Tella has been injured, so unfortunate for him there, you know. And then strikers, I don't think we should call Aroko Dare again. Aroko Dare needs to go. Call Onuachu back just for this AFCON, but if we're looking forward long term, I really think we have to bring Boniface back into this team. Forget sentiment about social media. This is a young player with a bright future still ahead of him and with the talent. But if he's not getting the chemistry while playing in the team, what's the point? Even Gift Orban, can we bring a Gift Orban into this team? He's playing well, he's getting minutes. Can he provide us something different? It's time to try new players. Let's just see something new. So I agree with you that it's time to change things and let's see a new set of Super Eagles to complement the normal players we have. It's not okay. I'm sad. 10 years no World Cup. As in, coach didn't put Onyedika when we needed to control the midfield. You sub in Tolu and waste the sub to take out Tolu again. You let defenders kick penalty kicks. Why not subbing Ekong when we knew we may enter penalty kicks? Onyedika starts for Club Brugge, for God's sake. Man, I have been planning to go with Super Eagles in America next year. Been planning this since I was in college. I'm gutted, man. Now Ghana and South Africa will be laughing at us. Thanks for your comments and for the detail. Ghana and SA, I already told you, everybody's time will come. Look at the history I just mentioned a few minutes ago of all these countries. So no worries. Honestly, we're very, very gutted not going to America. I think a World Cup in America or the UK is as close as Nigeria will get to hosting a home World Cup. Because we know Nigeria will never host World Cup. At least I don't think in my lifetime. But the UK and the US with our large immigration populations there, or no, expat populations. Why is it the Igbos that are immigrants? With our large expat populations in those countries, I really would have thought that a World Cup with Nigeria and America would have been one for the history books, to be honest, but it's not meant to be. I've already spoken about the things you mentioned, defenders taking penalty kicks, Onyedika, I don't understand. 10 years, no World Cup, Omo, it is what it is, but we have to face reality now and move ahead. Hey, our resident South African, thanks for your comments. My hot take is Nigeria started very well, but then tired just as quickly. In the second half, they were holding on because their legs were gone from playing 2 previous games at insane intensity and could look much fresher. Remember, Nigeria had started playing like this in their last 2 qualifiers against South Africa, Rwanda, and Benin, and those were tough matches. Nigeria did a great job, but shouldn't have left it that late. Fantastic and spot-on hot take. I think you hit the nail on the head. We started the game very, very well yesterday, but physicality, you could tell that we wore off very, very quickly, and that was a big, big problem that affected us for sure. So that's one thing that we have to rectify and make sure that we do not see happen again going forward. So very well said with that comment, driver Sebvet. I think the intensity, I like how you ended it. Nigeria did a great job, but shouldn't have left it that late. Simple. And we only have ourselves to blame for this. Thank you so much. Is this Olu or is an AI? Oh Lord, because in the hot takes video, I think I was still smiling. I'm not lie, I was around someone that gives me a lot of joy and happiness, so that I'll forget about Nigeria's problems. So that's what probably helped with my mood at that point. So it was not AI, I can confirm it was me. Please, let's not sack Eric Shell. I agree. That should not even be a question or a debate. Like, he definitely should go on with what he has done for us this year. The only thing I'll say is that he should not mention his voodoo comments, so it makes us look silly. And now that kind of comments will travel far. But when you look at his record, he's won every match for Nigeria and drawn 3. You know, drew against South Africa. No, drawn 4. South Africa, Gabon. No, we still beat Gabon eventually. DR Congo and Jamaica. But we still beat them on penalties. So he definitely should go to AFCON and prosecute for sure. I said it once again, I'll say it again. Get rid of Moses, of Simon Bloody Moses. Tolura Godare is completely useless. Iwobi can't give anything to this team. Players keep Osime, Ola, I know Benjamin, Frederick, Bassi, Calvin. Thanks for your comments, and I understand your frustration. I think Moses Simon's consistency is very, very clear now over the years. He's not someone that we can rely on, and he's not going to be a player that will take us to the promised land. In fact, I think he's another player that after AFCON, I will not be mad if he bows out of national team selection. Because really and truly, he always lets us down. We have to be honest. Or he lets us down quite frequently, which is not good enough. Aro Godare, I agree, should not be caught up again. Iwobi is one I always struggle with because I still see the good elements of what Iwobi does for the national team. And they keep misplatforming Iwobi. Play Iwobi as a left winger. Play Iwobi as a left winger. Since Lookman has decided that he will play 10 World Cup qualifying games and not score a single goal and get 1 assist, then let Lookman go and sit down on the bench. Moses Simon too can sit down on the bench. Iwobi plays and excels as a left winger for Fulham. Play Iwobi as a left winger. Instead, you have him toiling in the middle, in a position that he doesn't feel as comfortable. He will now get tired and misplace pass and will be complaining. Stop misprofiling these boys. We have enough central midfielders to come in. Akiso Miro, Dennis, David Moses, go and call these boys. Onyedika that you refuse to play Eric Shell, play him. So enough of that one. But your players to keep, I agree. We need to build our defense. Bassi and Frederick, keep that spine. Osimhen is still the spine. But what does that midfield spine look like? It should be Onyedika, in my opinion. Onyedika must come into this team. Maybe we decide that we're going to be playing Onyedika and Akiso Miro and build towards the future. So be it. Bassi and Frederick give you confidence you're happy with. Bring Okoye back into the goal. The midfield, indeed, you cannot rely on long term because of his age. You know, Onyeka is not necessarily top level quality. But Onyedika has that potential. Akiso Miro has that potential. Blood these people in. Keep Osimhen in there. And then by God's grace, we need to find a creative calm, man. It's why this Eze playing for England team really pisses me off, because our lack of creativity is shocking, man. But we go again anyway. Now, Osimhen only want to go for World Cup. The rest just want to watch. Well said, man. I agree. I hear you. Saul replied and said, don't talk down on Frederick ever again in your life. That guy is too good for this team. But anyway, Osimhen and Frederick both played like they wanted to go to the World Cup. That's for sure. And if only we had Osimhen's strength. One thing was clear was once Osimhen did not come out for the second half, it looked like the game was over. And it was such a sinking feeling to watch that whole second half and extra time. But it is what it is anyway. The whole losing out to the World Cup back-to-back is as a result of incompetent, corrupt NFF. This is just the whole summary and truth. Karma is the word. How can you be owing lots of players and coaches, sacking them and using their money as amen? No development in all the levels of our football. Our league is even worse now. Imagine a club in South Africa beating a club in Nigeria 7-1. He's referring to the Champions League playoff qualifiers between Remo Stars and Mamelodi Sundowns. No grassroots development that has enough players in this country that we can't get a creative midfielder. How about now? We need to tackle the real demons against our football. NFF is the demon behind. Thank you so much for your comments, and I've already lamented on the NFF, but I like how you put that so well. And honestly, the NFF are the demons we must root out from our national team. We need competence and people that will actually care about our football and our national team to come and take over and take charge. I totally agree. Not qualifying for 2 World Cups in a row has got to be lowest low for Nigerian football. Players in the MPFL never fully developed to their potential. And if any shows any potential, they would have been in Europe before their 24th birthday. Everyone in the NFF needs to put in their resignation letters now. I haven't seen my country in a World Cup since I was 17. I'm so sorry, man. How old was I in 2018? 25. And now I will have to wait until I'm 29 or 30 to see Nigeria on the biggest stage. What will this team even look like by then? Will the quality of players even still be there? P.S. Please never let Tolu ever wear a Nigeria jersey ever again. Thanks for your comments. I do agree with the first sentence. It is the lowest of low for Nigerian football, and it's the one thing that's giving me hope that if we are ever going to see change in Nigerian football, it will happen now. Because this level of disgrace and reaching this level of incompetence has never been seen. We have never been this low in our football. To miss back-to-back World Cups is a disgrace of the highest order. Honestly, it is so shocking. You're right, Abi, about the MPFL. In fact, I even read George Nakena, a very respected guy. I think he's CEO of the Sporting Lagos, one of these clubs. He was talking about how the governance of the MPFL works, because a lot of these clubs are state-owned. So they have to go and answer to the governor. There's no real professionalism in place to develop the league. Then you have our actual academies are run separately from the leagues. So the FC Ebedis that developed on Yeka and on Wacho and all these other academies are the ones actually making money. Because them, their own focus is how can they develop a player and sell him to Europe to make profits. So there's a misalignment between our league and developing talent. Because everyone needs to make their money, and players know that for the sake of their career, they need to go to Europe. So something needs to be sorted out there. I agree with you about everyone in the NFF needs to put in their resignation letters now. In a competent country, they will all be resigning today, as I said. But we know Nigeria. Sorry about you not seeing Nigeria since you were 16. Same for us, my brother. Very, very sad. You said, what would this team even look like by then? Will the quality of players even still be there? So opportunity for me to plug. I did a video about what the Nigerian national team squad could look like by 2030 World Cup. So please check it out and watch that video. I thought it was quite well put together. And the good news I have for you is we still have a lot of talented players who will either be in their prime or emerging based on their age around that time. So fear not, we still have a lot of good things and positive things coming. So please check out that video, and thanks for your comments. And finally, never let Tolu wear the Nigeria jersey again. I do agree that he does not deserve a call-up. He's not playing well for his club. He's not playing well for country. He looks totally out of ideas. And yesterday, I have to say, was the worst performance I've seen from a big man trying to hold up play in a long, long time in a football match. Honestly, it was disgraceful. So yeah, we wish him well, but he has a lot to learn, it must be said. I'm not too disappointed. The team did the right thing at the wrong time. This is the product of mediocre football management and lackluster preparation. My joy is discovering this channel. Wow, thank you so much for the positive words. I want to say a big, big thank you to every single listener, every subscriber, every sharer, every video liker, every video watcher, every commenter, both good or bad. I do not take it for granted. Thank you for allowing us to cross over 9,000 subscribers now. We are really, really grateful as we push towards 10K, which was our goal for the year. In fact, to be honest, the goal for the year was to get to 5,000. So you guys have already far exceeded my hopes for this channel this year, and it's all thanks to all you subscribers. So God bless you and thank you so much. I also love your comments about the team doing the right thing at the wrong time. This is a product of mediocre football. You're totally right. Mediocre football management and lackluster preparations. Like I said earlier, fail to prepare, prepare to fail. So thank you for that comment. Get rid of the poisonous political snakes cleaning our football, bracket NFF, or else we'll continue this loop for a long time. Thanks for that comment. I think we can all agree on that one, and I've dealt with that topic quite significantly already in today's episode. 2022 doesn't qualify for the World Cup. Don't worry, we'll win AFCON. 2023 doesn't win AFCON. We now say, don't worry, we'll go to the World Cup. 2025 doesn't qualify for the World Cup. Don't worry, we still got AFCON. I hate how we use AFCON as an excuse for such a terrible performance. I totally hear you, my brother, like, ideally we should be in all these tournaments winning everything. But look, like I said already, there are 9-10 giants in Africa. Only one will be satisfied after every AFCON because the remaining 9 will not win, But at the end of the day, we have to be grateful that after such a monumental loss, some other countries right now, after losing in this window, they will not have a international game to play till March. So they have to stew with the disappointment and hold it. But at least we have AFCON to bring us some joy and some respite. So, sorry if it sounds annoying, but, I still think we should look at the positive aspects of AFCON coming and grab the bull by the horns and see what we can do as a national team. So, I hear you, but we have to go ahead and keep it moving. Now, just focus on Arsenal. I hear you, my brother, and that's what I'm going to do until AFCON. But, of course, we love Super Eagles, and we always focus on Nigeria still. Remember, I'm going to do a predicting of the AFCON squad, and I'm trying to do a full AFCON preview for all the countries in Africa as well. Remember, for AFCON, we're going to have a AFCON daily show covering every team that would have played during the day, not just Nigeria. And for Nigeria, of course, we'll still have our previews, our reviews, and our live watch-alongs. So a lot of content to get into and to look forward to during AFCON. I may or may not go to Morocco for some of the later stages if we can make it. I want to see what I can do, but I'll see what's possible. But keep the faith, my people. Nigeria football is still coming around the corner very quickly, and we expect AFCON squads to be announced. I believe the deadline is like the 10th of December, so that's not far away. So a lot to look forward to, but boy, am I glad that I get to watch Arsenal, the North London derby this weekend. And by God's grace, it will be good news because, we like to beat Tottenham at home. So whoever you support as well for your clubs, I hope it's joy. Hopefully, Gabriel Magalhaes is not out for too long, and Arsenal we can continue towards the Premier League title because I need some joy in May and June next year. And it now looks like I have to rely on Arsenal to give me the parade I deserve at the end of May next year because Nigeria are not going to the World Cup. But congrats to all the African countries and England as well. We'll be watching you guys in the World Cup and seeing how things go. So that is officially the end of all things Nigeria Super Eagles for this round of the international window. It's been an absolute pleasure to cover, doing the preview, doing the boycotts, doing the live watch along, doing the review episodes, both for the Gabon match and the DR Congo match, and of course the hot takes episodes, which are specifically for all you subscribers, and I appreciate it so much and do not take it for granted. So now we get to look forward to club football fully and focus on how our players perform in the run-up to the Africa Cup of Nations. So, club football returns from this Friday. The last international games will be played today, Monday, November 17th, and tomorrow, Tuesday, November 18th. So, we'll know the exact lineup for the World Cup by tomorrow night, or at the very latest, Wednesday morning, because of the CONCACAF time zones. But club football will officially be returning on Friday. So, who do we have to look forward to for our players to play? The Fulham boys, Iwobi, Bassey and Chukwueze will be in action against Sunderland at home Saturday, 4 p.m. Nigeria time. So hopefully they can bounce. I thought Bassey was excellent for Nigeria anyway. So it's more Chukwueze and Iwobi to perform. Taiwo Oni will be back in action for Nottingham Forest as they try to escape relegation. They're actually going to Anfield, 4 p.m. Nigeria time on Saturday, so that's not going to be easy. I think Taiwo Oni is very far from the Nigerian national team right now as well. But you never know, if he can perform well over the next few weeks, maybe he could get a spot. Frank Oyeka will be going back to the Brentford bench as they go to play Brighton away on Saturday, 4 p.m. But of course, we want to give Frank Oyeka his kudos for scoring the goal for us yesterday and for actually being one of the players that still stood up for the national team over this period. Christian Uche, Crystal Palace are in 10th place. He's barely played, but we're hoping that he will finally have found some good news or good luck under Oliver Glasner. They play Wolverhampton away on Saturday, 4 p.m. Nigeria time. Speaking of Wolverhampton, Tola Godari will also be in the squad for Wolves, but of course he'll be on the bench as they host Crystal Palace 4 p.m. Nigeria time on Saturday. He really needs to figure out his career at club level. For all my listeners as well, I'm trying to think of expansion things with the pod. Would you guys like a Premier League specific episode? Or do you like the way we do the Premier League roundup with our players and overview? Like, would you like a PL specific episode where we actually like dissect the matches involving like the big six? You know, I can talk on Arsenal in a bit more detail, and we can make it a bit more of a Premier League focused pod rather than just like the Nigerian players. Is that something you guys would appreciate and want? I don't want to make anything that viewers will not watch or listen to. You know, you guys are the ones that are doing all this for me, so it gives me pleasure to make sure I find the right content. So let me know. Maybe we can do like a match preview episode about the Premier League every Friday, go through the games, what are predictions, who do you expect to perform, and then maybe I can combine it with FPL for the picks to pick from each team and what can be done. Go to my own FPL list, for example, and my own team and how we're doing and stuff like that. Just let me know in the comments what you think about that and if that's something that you really think you'll engage with, and I'll look into it for your listening pleasure. But other games to look forward to this weekend. I'm doing this early so that you can forget about Nigeria's pain. Burnley will be hosting Chelsea in the early kickoff on Saturday, 1:30 p.m. Nigeria time, 12:30 p.m. UK time. And then, of course, we'll have 3 p.m. kickoff games, which will be 4 p.m. Nigeria. Liverpool hosting Nottingham Forest at Anfield. Bournemouth hosting West Ham at the Vitality Stadium. Wolves hosting Crystal Palace at Molineux. Brighton hosting Brentford at Amex Stadium. And Fulham hosting Sunderland at Craven Cottage. Then the late kickoff on Saturday, we'll see Newcastle host Manchester City at St. James's Park. Even though I hate Newcastle, I'm hoping they can do Arsenal a favour and somehow take some points off Man City. That'll be fantastic. And then on Sunday, before the big blockbuster at 3 p.m. Nigeria time, you have Leeds United hosting Aston Villa at Elland Road. And then the big North London derby, which is the big game for this week, will be taking place at 5:30 p.m. on Sunday Nigeria time, which will be 4:30 p.m. UK time. And then there's Monday Night Football for your listening pleasure this week, with Manchester United hosting Everton at 9 p.m. on Monday, November 24th. So in a week from today. Now, in the championship, Shemi Ajayi, I'm just going to cover this because I think he will still be in the AFCON squad. His Hull City side are 5th and they'll be playing QPR away on Saturday. While Brighton side, Samuel, let's see if he can at least become a starter, because at this point, it looks like we may have no choice but to go with him to AFCON. His team are currently 11th in the championship and he's been a bench boy recently. But can he force his way back into the squad when they play Norwich at home on Saturday? We shall wait and see. In Serie A, Ademiral Lookman has a new manager in Rafael Palladino, and his Atalanta side are actually going to play Napoli away at the Diego Maradona Stadium on Saturday, 8:45 p.m. Nigeria time. This is a big match for Ademola, and he's had a terrible 2025 for the Super Eagles. So can he at least get into form in the next 4-5 weeks and try to have an amazing AFCON like he did last year? We shall wait and see. Also, we got news from Fabrizio Romano this morning about interest from Galatasaray in January and other clubs not named. I'll be honest, no offense Galatasaray, but I cannot have another one of my star players going to Galatasaray. Like, we can accept one for Osimhen for extenuating circumstances, but star players cannot be playing in the 9th best league in Europe now, in their prime. It's not good. Stay in a top 5 league for Christ's sake, please. So let's see what happens anyway, but wherever he goes, wish him well. Maduka Okoye's Udinese will be in action against Bologna at home on Saturday, 3 p.m. Nigeria time. Nigerians, I urge you, go and watch Maduka Okoye for Udinese, please. Tell me whether this man is not ready to take the gloves back. And then, of course, Ebenezer Akisomero, we're not sure how long he'll be out for, but if his injury that he sustained before the international break was not too bad, then he should be in action when they play Sassuolo away on Monday. So really rooting for Akisomero, and we'll be monitoring him a bit more intently, because I think this is a player that has a very good chance of making the AFCON squad in a few weeks' time. And finally, Gift Urban as well, want to really monitor as he started to play well for Verona. He'll be in action at home against Parma at home on Sunday, 12:30 p.m. Nigeria time. So as you come back from church, you can watch Gift Urban. In La Liga, our Sevilla boys, Akko Adams and Ejuke, who both made telling contributions for the national team over the past week, They'll be in action away against Espanyol on Monday, 9 p.m. Nigeria time. Espanyol are high flying in La Liga so far this season, which is quite interesting. So Sevilla have their work cut out for that game, but fingers crossed for a good performance from both of them. Also, Omar Sadiq has finally started playing games for us Sociedad, even though it's as a substitute, but he should be in action when they play Osasuna away on Saturday. In the Bundesliga, Nathan Teller is still injured, but he recently opened up about his knee injury, saying he feels like he's close to returning and he's taking things step by step. He said this injury, which has been over 10 weeks plus, so almost 3 months, so he's been lamenting about how long he's been out for, but he feels better compared to the 10 months when he was out with the cruciate ligament injury 6 years ago. So Nathan Teller, I wish you a speedy recovery. His team plays Wolfsburg away on Saturday. I don't know if Nathan Teller will be fit enough to even play well enough to show some workings to get to the national squad. I don't know, but this kind of new blood we need to rely on, although his body seems a bit quite brittle, which is a shame. Now, Victor Boniface, Werder Bremen, they're up to 8th in the league, and Victor Boniface has started starting games. His next game is a tricky tie away against RB Leipzig on Sunday, 3:30 p.m. Nigeria time, so look out for that game with Victor Boniface. I hope he scores. I still think he's our most talented striker after Victor Osimhen, and I wish him all the best. Now with all our centre-back problems, we have to track all centre-backs, anybody that can do good for us. Jordan Torunariga is in action for Hamburg away against Auberg. He started the last game before the international break, so let's see if he plays this game again on Saturday. As for Kevin Akpoguma, his Hoffenheim team play Mainz away on Friday, 8:30 p.m. Nigeria time, although he's likely to be an unused sub, and I don't think he'll ever play for Nigeria again, to be honest, because he did Shakara too late, to be honest. In France, Terem Moffi will be back in action for Nice as they play Marseille at home on Friday, 8:45 p.m. Really rooting for Moffi. I think he's a player that has a very good chance of making the AFCON squad. Moses Simon will be back in action for Paris FC as they go away to play Lille on Sunday, 8:45 p.m. Nigeria time. Simon, just go and find consistency in your game, man. Please, I'm begging you. Chidozie Awaziem's Nantes will play Lorient at home on Sunday, 5:15 p.m. Nigeria time, while George Lenkena's Monaco will be playing Rennes away on Saturday, 7 p.m. Nigeria time. Finally, Hamza Algerians Lens, who are currently third, will be hosting Strasbourg at home on Saturday, 5 p.m. Nigeria time, although it's very unlikely he'll be in the squad because he's been out of the squad for the last few games. In Portugal, Zedu Sanusi's next match will be for Porto at home against Sintrense, which will be on Saturday, 9:15 p.m. Nigeria time in the Taka de Portugal. We need Sanusi to recover his form ahead of AFCON because he's the best we've got at the moment. In Belgium, Rafael Edika will finally get to play a game again. Since Eric Shaw refused to play him. He'll be playing Sporting Charleroi at home on Saturday, 8:45 p.m. Nigeria time. Yirasor will also be in action for Genk. This is another winger that we can check out as they play KV Mechelen at home on Sunday, 1:30 p.m. Nigeria time. And rave of the moment, Benjamin Frederick. He'll be back in action for FCB Denda as they play Royal Antwerp away on Sunday, 4 p.m. Nigeria time. In Turkey, it looks like Osimhen with his hamstring injury will not play this weekend, but I also heard that it's not too much of an issue. So maybe if he's able to play, he will play against Jean-Claire Briligli at home on Saturday. That's the team that Onyekuru signed for, and Fisayo Delebashu's brother Tom Delebashu plays for, by the way. That'll be 6 p.m. Nigeria time. Paul Onuachu, as he continues to stake a claim for AFCON, his Trabzonspor side will be going away to play Istanbul Basaksehir away on Monday, 6 p.m. Nigeria time. Wilfred Ndidi, fresh off the disappointment of yesterday, will be playing at home against Trabzonspor for Besiktas on Sunday, 3 p.m. Nigeria time. While Anthony Dennis, who I think should be monitored by the NFF, central midfielder will be playing for Godtepe at home against Kocaelispor on Sunday, 12:30 p.m. Nigeria time. In Czech Republic, we're hoping Igbo could finally come back from his injury that has kept him out all season. But if he's not, we know David Moses is still in action. He's another youngster that we should be looking at for the national team, considering he plays in the Champions League. His next game is against Bohemia 1905 at home on Saturday, 6 p.m. Nigeria time. Rafael Durosimi will be in action for Victoria Pilsen away against Jablonec away on Sunday. And finally, Emmanuel Uchena for Sparta Prague will be in action against Mlada Boleslav away on Saturday. In Greece, Binoye Machi will be in action for Olympiacos at home against Atromitos. We hope he will play the game. That's on Saturday, 7 p.m. In the Swiss League, Philippe Botelli will be in action for FC Basel against Grasshoppers away on Sunday, 4:30 p.m. Nigeria time. Look out for that game. This is another winger we could potentially look at. And in the PSL in South Africa, Stalino Abali's Chippa United, bottom of the table, will be playing Orlando Pirates away on Saturday, 2:30 p.m. Nigeria time. And then finally, just to mention, in the CAF Champions League, we'll see Rivers United open their campaign against the defending CAF Champions League champions, Pyramids FC of Egypt, away on Saturday, 8 p.m. Nigeria time. As if this could not become any worse, Rivers United have to now face this Fistamayele guy again. So Fistamayele has already dealt with our Super Eagles yesterday. We will now have to, our Rivers United, best team in our country, will now have to go and play Fistamayele again. So we wish you guys well and all the best. Good luck, because that guy is a player. But anyway, that's it for this episode of the podcast. Like I said, I want to thank you all for subscribing, liking, sharing. I do not take it for granted. And please remember to support and watch the players in their club sides. I'm begging you. And also, please, thank you. Continue to support us on the channel. Even if it's club football, I know it's not quite national football, but we're always covering Nigerian footballers and any important information and news that we need to bring your way. So please keep with us, and we really, really appreciate it. So remember the recap of games to watch. On Friday, Teremofis Nice plays Marseille. On Saturday, Marca Alcodes Udinese plays Bologna. Emmanuel Uchena Slavia Prague plays Mlada Boleslav. Watch him because of AFCON potential spots. Torunarigas Hamburg play Auberg away. The Fulham boys will all be in action against Sunderland at home, 4 p.m. Nigeria time. So will Tara Oni's Nottingham Forest as they go away to Anfield, 4 p.m. Osimhen likely injured, but if he's not, he'll be playing at 6 p.m. Nigeria time on ESPN for Galatasaray against Jenek Ligli. And David Moses Slavia Prague will also be in action at 6 p.m. Nigeria time. Potential Super Eagle player. Ademola Lookman's Atalanta go to play Napoli away, 8:45 p.m. Rafael Edika will be playing against Sporting Charleroi, 8:45 p.m. on Saturday, and Zedu Sanusi will be in action 9:15 p.m. Nigeria time. On Sunday, Gift Urbans Verona will be playing Parma at home 12:30 p.m. Anthony Dennis Gotsepe will play Kokale Spor at home 12:30 p.m. as well. And then we'll see Victor Boniface's Werder Bremen play RB Leipzig away 3 hours later at 3:30 p.m. Benjamin Frederick will also be in action at 4 p.m. on Sunday as FCV Denda play Royal Antwerp away, what should be a very good test. Philippe Otele's FC Basel play Grasshoppers away on Sunday, and Chidozie Awaziem's Nuns plays Lorient at home on Sunday 5:15 p.m. Finally, on Monday, Polonwachi's Trabzonspor will play Istanbul Basaksehir at 6 p.m. Nigeria time. Ebenezer Akintomiro, if he's fit, will play against Sassuolo away 8:45 p.m. Nigeria time. And then Aquarams and Chidera GK Sevilla will be going to play Espanyol away 9 p.m. Nigeria time on Monday. So I also mentioned some players here who I don't normally mention, but it's because there are some positions where we know that people are still fighting for their spots for AFCON. So some players you want to monitor or see how they are playing. So I'll encourage guys to also watch these players, not just the ones in the top 5 leagues, so we can have a better, full-formed idea of all our players in the national team. Please remember, I'll be doing a predicting the AFCON squad video very soon. Look out for that. And once again, I want to say a big thank you to everybody for liking, sharing, subscribing, watching, commenting, even on our social media platforms. I do not take it for granted. It means a lot. The road to 10,000 subscribers continues, and I hope Nigeria going out will not affect us too badly negatively. But look, the content will continue to be served, and I'll continue to come with it for all your listening pleasure. Until next time, I'll be your host, Olu. Please remember, we're Nigeria Football Weekly on all social media channels, except Twitter, where we're at NFWPOD. And I'll see you on the next episode of the podcast next week, where we're reviewing our players and how they performed as club football returns. Enjoy the football. Don't forget to do your FPL teams. And please let me know on my question around Premier League content or additional content that we can do going forward. Take care, and I'll see you on the next episode.
Thanks for watching this video. Please like, share, subscribe, and click the bell to get a notification whenever we drop the video. You can also find our social media channels listed below. And of course, up Super Eagles and Nigeriano the ever carry last.